Hello everybody, it's the Voodoo Doll from Noir Grimoire, and today we're going to be talking about a taboo topic, the power of menstrual blood, the power of blood in magic, and how to harvest and harness it. So first of all, if you are a woman that menstruates and the thought of touching your own blood or anything like that completely freaks you out, you probably don't want to watch this video. I'm not going to use real blood, but I am just going to get real with you. There's nothing disgusting about anything that comes out of your body. You know, it's menstrual blood. It was blood that was meant to create life. You did not get pregnant, so you are shedding that blood. It's a gift. It's a powerful gift. And as a witch, it's one of the things that we can harvest to use in our magic. When you get more powerful in your witchcraft and you start writing your own spells and you're making your own, mixes of oils and herb blends and you're opening sigils and things like that, you could use your period blood to add more power to that. It's a signature. It's almost like if you were signing your name on any work that you do in the universe, you would use a drop of your blood. Now, every time I do a ritual, I use a drop of my blood always. I don't use animal blood, I use my blood. If I am doing working with the demon and I'm offering the demon my life force, in exchange for working with me as an offering, I'm going to offer that demon my blood. So, saving your blood, you have to use a period cup, and the best and cleanest way to save your blood is to make sure that it is airtight, and the only way that I've been able to do that is using syringes. I use these because they are small. There you go. It's airtight. You can squeeze the air, push the air out of it, and also I can put a label on this. So you want to be really calculated with your witchcraft, and I always say that. So learning exactly all the ways that you can use your blood and all the ways that you can empower yourself through it is step one. You can, like I said, use it to open sigils, use it to anoint your work, your candles, everything. What you can also do is keep track of the cycle of the moon. So if it is a waxing moon and you are on your period, then you would go ahead and label this waxing. And if you want to go a step further, what day was it? I started on a Friday. Friday is the planet of Venus. Venus is when we do our love work. You started your period on a waxing moon. So now you have that power of information that you can reference. So it's not just blood in a drawer, it also has information on it. I started it on Friday, the planet of Venus, in wax, the moon is waxing. So I know that this is a very strong concoction that I can use in any of the love spells that I do for my clients, for myself, any work with Venus, anything. I know that that's what I'm going to use and go to for that. So now you have almost like not weaponized but categorized your blood. So say next month you start and it's a waning moon and you start on a Monday, you'd write that down so I know that this is for waning work. This is what I'm going to use when it's waning. Eventually you'll start your period on a new moon. This is for new moon work. And I started on a Tuesday, so Mars. Learning how to do that can add extra magical oomph to your working. And also learning how to manipulate your blood once you have it. So you can manipulate your blood and change it into things to emulate the four elements. So of course in its liquid state, we could use it for our water working. Like if we need something, an element of water, then we have our liquid blood. If you want to use an element of fire or an element of earth and air, those three elements, you can dry your blood. Take it in on a thin layer on aluminum foil, let it air dry, and then take a razor blade and scrape it up. And now you have those flakes. So you can add those flakes, and then of course you have them labeled. So these are my waxing moon flakes or whatever. Any work that I'm going to do that I need an element of earth, I'm going to add this to it. So if I need salt, I'm going to add a couple of these flakes to my salt and use that in my working. If I need an element of air, I can take those flakes and I can put them on charcoal and I can release it into the air. If I need fire, again, I can release it into the air. I can burn it. I can, put it on raw fire if I need to and burn it. And I also know what phase of the moon it's from, and I know what planet it's from. So that's another powerful secret weapon to use in your magic, and it will strengthen your magic. Now, to get the blood, you have to use a period cup. So hopefully all of you know what a period cup is. If you don't know, you can Google it. I'll show you one here. What you're going to do, and I just have orange juice in here. So I'm pretending that this is obviously blood. So we have our orange juice in here. So say this is your cup. Your cup is full. You have this. You're trying to put it into your needle. So what you can do, especially if you're trying to do this for the first time, I can do this with my mouth, like pull this off, twist it off, spit it off, and go ahead and do it. But for the first time, you're probably going to make a mess. So what you want to do is you can even take a little cup, styrofoam cup if you don't obviously want to use something that you're drinking out of, and go ahead and kind of balance that. I'll show you what I did. I just balanced that in there. It's just balanced in there because the stem is very soft, so I've got that in there. That way I can work with my hands. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take this tip off, and you're going to go ahead, and this is a plunger. So you would go ahead and, I don't think I can do it with one hand. Go ahead. There, you have sucked up your blood. You would go ahead, you'd put this little thing back on here, and you want to squeeze the air out of it. You don't want any air in there because you don't want it to congeal. So now we've got all the air out of it. I have put the cap back on it, and sometimes it'll have a little pressure in it where it'll keep leaking just a little bit. If that's the case, just pull the plunger back a little bit. And then I would slap a label on this. I'd go ahead and I'd put a label on this and say exactly when it's from, waxing moon, Friday, and then I know that I have this and I know exactly what it is. And I would keep doing that. So these are 3 mil needles that you could probably find anywhere. I think you can even buy needles at Walgreens, but I ordered mine. I have the 10 mil ones. They're the big mega needles, and they're able to hold all this liquid that is in here. So I'd say that maybe this cup can hold 2 ounces or something like that. So you have your 10 mil will be able to pull all that into it, and you don't have to use 5 or 6 of these little tiny things. So that's how I would do that. If I need to anoint something, then I just go ahead and I would use it. So when it's fresh and new, obviously you can go ahead and, you know, push it and it's going to come out. But when it's a couple days, a couple weeks or whatever, this may get clogged. So then you would have to take this off, your little point off, and then just go ahead and lightly press your plunger and get a drop. Perfect drop on my finger. And that's how you would do that. So this just keeps everything really clean and neat. I don't understand why people are squeamish about their period blood. I can see if it's a man, but if it's a woman and it's your blood, I think that's a little ridiculous. Like, get over it. You know, if you have a healthy diet, your period blood shouldn't be smelling horrific. I mean, if you leave air exposed in this, and this would just be awful. I'm just going to let you know that. It's always going to have a smell to it. It's blood and it's period blood. It's always going to have a smell to it. It's always going to, you know, it's raw blood. So that you're going to have to get over. But the benefits of it are, I think, worth it. And like I said, maybe super messy the first time you do it, but you will get it down. And then that's a huge, huge, huge element that you can put in your magic. If you are a man and you are a practicing witch and your wife is not, or girlfriend is not, but you would like to use the power of their blood in magic, you can do that as well. Again, show them this video, show them how to do that, and have them give you a needle, a syringe full of their blood. I am not one to tell someone what to do, but I am not a proponent of putting shit in people's food, because I know if it was me, I would beat the goddamn brakes off of somebody if I found out that they put blood or any sort of excrement or semen or anything in my food. So I just say do to people what you would want done to you, especially if it's a lover, someone that you're absolutely in love with and you're trying to make them fall deeper in love with you. How would you feel if you found out there was semen in your spaghetti? So just err on the side of caution. I don't fuck with people's food. There's other ways that you can spell people without this, you know, hoodoo whatever thing going around that you put blood in spaghetti. It may work for some people, you know, or blood and food or whatever. I don't fuck around like that. So that is how you can store your blood, what you can do with your blood. It is so powerful once you begin working with it. Once you dry it, you've made those flakes, and you sprinkle some of your blood flakes in your salt, and you're using that in your ritual, and then you start throwing it on your incense, and then you know if it's waxing or waning, and you just become a mad scientist with your magic, and it just takes you to the next level. That's the difference between baby witch that doesn't know what the fuck she's doing and PhD witch that knows absolutely everything that she's doing, and she's in control of every element, you know, her blood, her, you know, the candles, the planetary hours, the everything. She's got it fucking down, and that makes your magic almost like a bullet. Every single time you can do the same thing right, and you don't have to guess what you did. You know, you're going to pick up this syringe every time you do your love magic. I'm using my Venus waxing blood, and I'm going to you know, do an element of earth in this spell, or I'm going to use an element of earth in the spell with honey, so I'm going to go ahead and put some of my blood flakes in the honey or whatever, or liquid in the honey, whatever you want to do. And I'm going to use that on my candles for my love spell. There's 1,000 things you can do. So start figuring out ways that you can incorporate yourself, literally your essence, yourself, into magical spells. If you're a Pinterest witch and you find things on Pinterest and you're making a potion, try to figure out how you can incorporate yourself into that spell correctly. Do I need to maybe, you know, put a little flakes on some incense when I'm doing this, or what do I need to do? Do I need to dip my sage stick? You can dip your sage stick in your blood and then let it dry, and then when I light that, I'm also lighting sage, but I'm also lighting my essence in it, and my will is being done. I'm cleansing, doing whatever I need to do with that sage, and my blood is already on it. There's not a thing in my apothecary that doesn't have my blood in it. If I buy oil, my blood is in it. Depends on what I'm doing. Now, if I'm doing something for a client and I'm doing a love spell, I'm not going to put my blood in that spell, because I don't need that person falling in love with me. I need them falling in love with my client. So then I would put the blood on the sigils that I'm using to open the demonic gates for the spell. So be cautious about that. If you're cursing someone, I would not put my blood in the curse, because I don't want to be cursed. I don't want any of my DNA anywhere on a curse, but I will put it on the sigils. I will put it on the incense, but I'm not going to actually put it in the items that I'm doing the actual curse with. I would even sometimes wear gloves. I don't even want my sweat on. Some of the shit I do is so dark and hard, I don't even want my sweat droplets on it, and I wear gloves when I handle it, because it's such a heavy curse. I don't want any of it linking to me, or, you know, residual fucked up shit happen to me because I have my DNA on it. So be careful with that. And I feel like blood magic is very strong. I don't think there's any magic that can't be undone. There are some things I think that will chase you to the next life karmically. Sometimes if you bind someone to you, you don't even need blood to do that. You could just say the words, like you're binding someone to you. You may end up finding that fucking guy every single life, and him fucking you over every single life like he did this one. So be careful with trying to bind with your blood, because it may, you know, you may not even think it worked, and you may not even know in the next life, why do I have such fucking bad luck with these guys? Well, because you bound their asses to you when you did that blood spell. So you can undo it if you're conscious of what it is. So I don't think there's anything that can be undone, but if you are in your next life and you're having trouble with guys, I think the last thing you're going to think of is, oh, you know, maybe I did a curse in my past life and that shit is following me. So that's probably not what you're going to think. So just be cautious about how you use your new power that you just learned about today. Be ethical and be conscious. So that is it for blood magic, harvesting it, harnessing it, executing it, and I hope that it helps take your magic to the next level. It really is like a nuclear bomb and a secret weapon in your arsenal that will set you apart from any other practitioner or witch. Bye.